We're live.
One.
No, we're live.
So, as I was saying, those Jews, right?
Yep. Them Jews.
And them figgin' juice. Always koshering my salt.
They shall see the field.
Alright,
of
have we
fucks.
gone banned yet? No?
Wait, we're hearing something from the internet. It's coming through AIM. Yeah? America Online
exists.
Instant Messenger. Yeah. We got a prepaid card for like 2 months. And weirdly enough, there's some death threats coming in. Like 2 of them.
Finally. They better
Yeah.
be saucy and good, or else I'm gonna be upset with people.
So, the first one comes from an anonymous person who apparently agrees to everything. He's basically like a yes man. You know, you go over to him and he's like, yes, I also enjoy sexual intercourse. He apparently
I am
says,
human.
yes. In fact, it is.
Lower down your guard, human. As you can see, I too am person. You do not have to keep your defenses up so hard like that. As you can see, I am very comfortable and relaxed. Why, I could even be vulnerable to a Zognoid possession right now. What say you, fellow human?
Open the gate a little.
There you go. Gate open.
Have you ever seen that like series of pictures that's like, there's a priest coming in. Open the gates. And he's like, opening the gates. And then, oh, it's an
like,
enemy
wait
priest. No,
he's...
close the gates. Oh,
but no, he's got pies. Open it a little.
Open it.
That beam is so dead now. No, you know what? That's the problem that I don't know how we will ever address this as a human species in our lives, but this is such a problem. When a meme dies, it be obnoxious. It's no longer yeah, it was that funny thing that I liked a month ago, because like about 5 months ago we all loved Dat Boy. We thought it was the most hilarious thing ever, but now if you mention Dat Boy, it's
like,
so
hello,
obnoxious
Grandpa.
for everyone, and nobody likes it.
Hmm.
Nintendo
Oh
Switch.
no, Jared.
No,
Jared.
Jared, stop. No, here's my funny fucking theory. Jared didn't actually he didn't actually do anything weirdly sexual to those kids. What he actually did was he forced he kept them locked in a subway basement or storage closet, and what he did was he just forced sandwiches down the kids' throats until they couldn't take it. And so finally one day a subway manager found him, and he just found him shoving sandwiches down
Yeah, there's just like a piece of
police
bologna
police
somewhere.
officers that are watching this, you have to understand, we speak in 90% hyperbole. This is for the sake of comedy.
Yeah.
We're
There's
not
like
we're
an
not actually,
entire
but
police
but back
department.
but back to choking children with sandwiches. um He was probably just shoving a giant subs down their throats, eat it, you little shit, to to the point where each and every child is just no, no, Jared.
I still can get over how stupid a fucking character he is. It's just like.
I'm nice. Look at me, you guys. I used to be big fat, but now I am skinny and nice. It's so discriminating too. Well, it's like fat people can't be nice. Fat people can't be the nice, good people. It has to be the skinny, shiny teeth, glasses wearing, diet Walmart faded glory looking motherfuckers on the camera screen. It's like, look how nice and polite he is. He is a gentleman. He would not ever hurt a soul.
Stop
No.
extolling your opinion, you're aggravating, goddamn conflict and perturbating my motherfucking tranquility.
Artie, can't you see I'm too busy sanctimoniously asserting my own sensibilities over onto the internet?
Is that true?
Can't you see I'm trying to instill my own moral superiority while also condemning the moral standings of others, while also pretending to be virtuous about said moral superiority, while also holding a very condescending view about it?
No, you're just, pretty oppositional,
I'm the ultimate contrarian. When
You're a
they
filthy
said Trump was
contrary.
going to win, I said no, Johnson's gonna win. When they said that Ronaldo couldn't do the Super Bowl, I said yes, he can. When they said Simpsons were gonna have a season 29, I said yes, there would be. And only one of those things happened.
Definitely Rafael Nadal on Formula One.
Basically,
that was the better part of the year.
I you know what would only make Formula One even better is if it was tennis, but if it was tennis played with fucking Formula One cars.
High speed tennis.
High speed tennis.
Just strap a mini motor engine onto the ball itself and have it be, running beside the tennis.
That
court.
actually reminds me of a sport that I invented.
Sports ball?
Yes, a sport that I invented when I was but a wee lad. When I was but a wee little lad.
Oh, you'll be playing them sports in Scotland, you've been.
I was a wee little lad in elementary school, and I thought up the perfect sport called nuclear hockey. Now, allow me to explain to you how
the
nuclear
Geneva
hockey
Convention
works.
has something to say about that.
Geneva Convention can suck both of my ass because nuclear hockey was set for the It was set for the premise of what you do is the skates themselves are nuclear powered, so
I see.
You don't have to really skate with them; they just kind of move. Also, the sticks are nuclear powered, and what we have is an entire, I guess, nuclear reactor going on about 3 to 4 feet directly underneath the rink itself, and the point of the game is the nuclear reactor is going off, and the
Constantly.
only way to keep it from going off is one team has to score enough points in order to deactivate it. But here's the kicker of the rink: we'll have a whatchamacallit, we'll have a little escape door from which they will be able to escape into. So whoever decides to either not die and defuse the reactor, or whoever decides to just flat out open the secret door and run, wins. So you can have everyone die, or you can have no one die.
That would make for a hell of a spectator sport. Just
Also,
everybody's at home.
the sticks are nuclear powered, so they do technically run and hit pucks at about
Max speed.
5 joules. 5 joules. 5 joules.
That's literally 5 men called Jules strapped together and running in the straight line.
5 joules. 1 ring. Minecraft. I actually saw that video. Did have you taken a look through some of like the older Oni Play series?
No. I'm a white heterosexual man. I don't partake.
You're not a disabled person of color who's also trans woman, mental. But whatchamacallit? On Oni Plays, they were making like the jokes about brown bricks in Minecraft, and I had to find the video. It's this parody of Inspector Gadget, and he's with a dude. He's playing Minecraft on mobile. And he's like, "What's this? Minecraft?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's Minecraft. You get to play with bricks and set blocks." And then Inspector, this weird fucking parody of Inspector Gadget, just goes on to talk about Minecraft. It's like, "I love building brown bricks in Minecraft. The best thing to do in Minecraft is put brown brick in Minecraft." it's hilarious.
You've been to that part of the internet, you know.
I have been to every part of the internet. Okay, I'm a connoisseur.
You took 2 weeks off, you know, everything. You isolated yourself in a sensory deprivation chamber filled with bath salts and methamphetamines. And then just continuously watched YouTube for 2 weeks.
Yeah. In case anybody was wondering what was going on for the whole 2-week break for Tedverse, what I actually did was I dove into a pool full of bitches because a rap song told me to.
Yeah. You've been listening to Little Pump again.
Pool full of bitches, and we dive in. That's what I did.
I mean,
ooh, that was kind of nice.
Oh,
hey, haven't you ever dived into a pool full of bitches?
Many a time. Why do you ask?
I'm starting to think that you're not a person who dives into a pool full of bitches, my good sir.
No, it's clearly
I'm gonna need to see some paper.
No, you could hear them through the microphone screaming their out of anguish because they are lonely and do not have the comfort of my body warmth. Hey,
okay,
Artie, come back! We need you for sex and stuff. Come on.
No, here's what I don't understand. Have you by chance caught any of the trailers for the new Colossus?
The new Colossus?
The new Wolfenstein game.
I have, but I have not, remembered them because I sort of, delete everything after 5 seconds of consumption just to keep those 50 megabytes of space, free.
Exactly. I immediately forget everything I see, so when I come back to it, it's an all new adventure. It's a brand new adventure.
Yeah, imagine seeing porn for the 50th time. It's like, yeah.
That's why we need that amnesia shit. So whenever you just poof right out there, and you're an idiot. So you come back, and it's a brand new, beautiful world of the porn for the first time. But no, what I never understood was they have really cool fucking trailers about since the plot is, and I'm not spoiling anybody by saying this because this is in the trailer. The plot is, okay, imagine this, guys. What if America didn't win World War II?
Blasphemy. Ben the heretic.
What if, hear me out, what if America lost
No. Don't say that. No.
and the Nazis won instead?
How dare you? We've revoked your visa already. Stop.
You've been already blacklisted in the travel ban. But what they essentially did with the story, Nazis win the World War. They capture America. I think, yeah, Washington D.C. is nuked, and
Of
America
course
is
it is.
America is under Nazi occupation. And what's trying to be done is good old Billy Bob, J. Bob, Thornton, Ray, Bubba, Hubba,
Blazkowicz.
Blazkowicz is trying to, whatchamacallit, he's trying to liberate America and free everybody from the tyranny of the Nazis. But in order to do so, he will have to enlist the help of his friends, such as Bucky and what was that other one? Foxy Love. I call her
Foxy
Foxy
Polish
Love.
chick.
No, her afro is bigger than everybody's head in the entire game combined. It is, I swear. No, look it up. I'm not kidding.
Just the polygon count is so
No,
large.
the thing that like kind of like struck out with me was in the previous one, the New Order. It wasn't like because the New Order came before, and
Yeah,
the
it's like
old
a
one came
prequel
after.
something.
Yeah, but in the New Order, that one lady that's supposed to be like a big general, General Angles or something like that. What happens to her in the previous game is, big spoilers if you didn't play Nazi Go Boom Fun Time Power Hour, go do that before you get here. Um, General Angles finally captures good old Billy Bob J. Thornton Ray Bubba Hub Blazkowicz in some part of the battlefield in some part of the game. And what initially happens is she's got him by the ropes, but then all of a sudden, one of the big mecha death robots that she brought about two of them with her to incapacitate Billy Bob J. Michael Keaton, Heffrey, Jim John Jones, Billy James, Ray Bub Hubba Blazkowicz. One of them just kind of becomes autonomous for the quick second and grabs her by like the face and just rips off like a good chunk of her entire jaw. And from what it looked, and she just like grabs this one moment to like grab you and like look at you like, you've mutilated me. But from how the scene turns out, it really looked like the death mecha completely snapped her neck and killed her. But what truly happens is
Yeah,
she's
I
in
was
the
really
game. She's
confused
in the
about.
new game. She's alive. She's a big character in the new one.
They're like doing like an alternate reality thing. They're Star Trekking it a bit, you know?
No, what they're attempting to do is, well, it sort of is whatchamacallit. It sort of is alternate reality in the sense of what they do with from the end of the new no, not the old blood, but the new order is essentially the Nazis are winning the war in the new order and they are about to win, but the ending I think was supposed to be like a defeat, but they take part of the whole, okay, well, what if in the ending Billy James, Harrison Ford, Jimmy Jimmy Longfoot Subway Bob didn't win at the end and the Nazis won instead, and then world is conquered by Nazis, America is now the American territories under Nazi rule. uh she's in the game and she's completely fine. All that's wrong with her is like she has a scar going from like the right side of her upper lip all the way down into her chin. Because I very clearly remember that scene. She got mutilated, and then it looked like the mecha snapped her neck. So she should have died. I'm pretty sure she should have died. But I'm
Well,
also pretty sure that McGregor won that fight.
yeah. I mean,
Exactly.
XCOM
You
2,
watch
isn't it?
Did you actually watch the fight?
No, I watched the wrestling. I didn't watch the box.
Oh yeah, you watched WWF.
Yeah.
But
Be-
okay, here's the thing. Uh, everybody says, and I guess this is the consensus, although I wouldn't say it's the consensus because everybody says otherwise. But according to what the ring, when it was decided, Mayweather won. He was the one that won. Although I don't believe it in the slightest, because if you actually watch the fight, Mayweather was getting his ass kicked. He was getting spanked. He was getting spanked like a little boy, and then managed to maybe get a couple of decent jabs in, which McGregor shook off like summer kisses in the wintry breeze. But he got his ass handed to him. He got completely whipped, and then finally at the end, bing, bing, bing. Oh yeah, Mayweather won.
yeah,
And
sure.
no, I
Here's 50
refused.
million.
Oh yeah, of course. Which is to the point. After this fight, I refuse to take a single fight with Mayweather seriously, and I refuse to take. Hey, all you Mayweather fans, all you people, and also maybe children who do appreciate Mayweather, and think he's the greatest of all time. You know what? All the more power to you. But I genuinely cannot take the guy seriously as a fighter anymore, because each and every big hyped fight that has gone on like this, the one with Pacquiao, the one with Anderson, I think, the one with that Colombian guy from South America, and this one with McGregor, each and every single fight that he has had to like go with him, like those big hyped ones where it's like, I could beat anyone, and then Mayweather steps in, he's like, you can't beat me. It's like, yeah, I'll beat Mayweather, you ain't nothing. But then all of a sudden they hype up the fight, and it's like, ooh, who's gonna win? Is Mayweather gonna get his ass handed to him? Is Mayweather gonna win? All those hyped fights, each and every time any of them has won, Mayweather has gotten his ass single-handedly handed to him in a nice wrapped bow. And yet every time, somehow, he doesn't lose. He always wins. Every time the clock strikes, they lift his hand, and he is miraculously the winner. And I mean, I don't get it, but I understand how and why it happens the way it does.
Hey, remember how wrestling works and how they book matches there?
Oh yeah, but I mean,
Control
it's
C,
like,
Control V.
basically. But it's like with wrestling, they try to put, and this is the only thing that I mean, if it's truly is fake to a certain degree, I don't actually mind if it is, because even though it's fake, they they put a good show on. They put together a very entertaining and neat show, and it's a nice thing to watch overall. So I mean, it doesn't matter all that much in the end, whether it's completely fake or not. I don't even mind it as hard, because they will actually put in the effort to put together a nice, action-packed, adventurous, and entertaining show. Whereas boxing is more just for the raw fight
Thrill.
itself.
Yeah.
But hey, my conspiracy is, and I guarantee this is true. Mayweather has the money. Because his name is so reputable and marketable, and he makes all this money. It's very possible he just uh meets with any of them behind stage, says, or at least about like a month before the fight, and says, "Okay, I would like to win this one. I'll give you about $50 million." And then, of course, he'll win a decent chunk of change either all, because he'll be winning the match. But at the same time, I mean, think about it. Maybe they did whoop his ass, and it's like that's the thing. he probably also says like, sure, it's like, I know I'm going to lose to you. I know you guys are going to whip my ass, but like, let's just put it that you lose anyway, and I'll give you $50 million for it. Because really, what does it matter at the end of the day? Okay, sure, you lost, but you still clearly like whooped his ass in front of millions and millions of people watching in the audience, and all of those that are watching at home. And not to mention, you earn a cool like 50 to 70 million for losing. I don't care. I'll let somebody smack me as hard as they can right across the earlobe with a wooden plank for 50 million. You kidding me? I'll powerbomb my own mother for 50 million. I'll
Yeah,
suplex the shit out of her for 50 million.
I mean, as far as I've been hearing it, because you can't not hear about the Mayweather match, you just can't.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's like a virus, just like Game of Thrones. Good lord, it's fucking over. It's like, oh well, remember this guy called Randy Orton? He was a wrestling man. He still is. To
So you
sort of thing.
remember Randy Thornton?
Yeah. So remember
Randy,
how he
Jim,
just
James,
takes
Mac,
a match?
Carmack, Carl
Yeah,
Orton.
he just plays a match, he fights a bit, you know, they kick each other in the shins, they call their mothers like fancy names and everything. And then at some point, near what is, you know, thought to be the climax of the match, he just pulls off this magical fucking move called an RKO, which instantly disables every single motor function your opponent has and wins you the match. That's a bit how this boxing match went. Oh, I will be punishing you all this time, but then this guy will pull out a magical thing out of his pocket, and then I will lose, but still get $50 million because I was still on TV.
And I don't have to give a fuck about losing. So it's losing doesn't feel nearly as bad or even at all shameful when you know that after losing you just get to swim in this big pile of money.
Yeah, you can go back to the pool with women screaming for you. You know, you just, oh, hey, what did you do at work? Yeah, you go home to your loving wife, you kiss her on the cheek and say, hey, what did you do today, honey? And I was like, oh, I just, you know, lost, but here's a bag of cash. I think she won't really mind the loss of reputation at that point.
Nah, McGregor like literally chucks bags of cash at his wife. Yeah. He's like, how the fuck are you, wife? It's like, hi, honey, you came back home, how was the fight? How the fuck are you? I want 50 million. Boo! Yeah. Smashes his wife over the head with a big bag of cash.
And keep in mind, it's going to be next week where there's going to be a rematch, and then it's going to come out the other way. And it's going to be like this match never existed.
Basically. Rematches always basically dictate that any match that came after it is moot.
Yeah, unless, you know, it's a squash match and he completely loses the next time. Then it's like, oh, this is a serious push. We're going to be making him a big star. We're going to put him on billboards and cereal boxes.
And we're going to put him on posters and in video games.
Yeah.
All the video games. No, here are my predictions. Top 10 predictions for the future. Number 10. I'd like to genuinely say that I think McGregor might just turn down the loss for this one, and instead he'll just say, you know what? Nah, I actually just wanna really for realsies win this one. So he'll turn it down. He'll probably win less since Mayweather's not gonna give him the money then if he's not gonna just accept the L. So he'll just say, nah, fuck it. I'll fucking fight and win 2 million instead. That's good enough. I mean, it is a UFC. It is a big industry filled with money. So, wherever the table turns, it turns. But my prediction is he'll actually beat him. He'll actually say, no, you know what? It's fine. I'll not give a fuck about it. I'll just win it instead and be fine with it. But maybe, just maybe, he might not. He might just instead choose to lose instead. But also, I also predict a I know Mario Odyssey is already coming out, but on top of Mario Odyssey, I am also predicting an enormous big Mario game coming to the Switch overall. It it'll be something like Odyssey, I think, but I think it's going to be trying to go back to the old ancient way roots of Mario 64. Possible. No guarantees for it though. Number 3. Game Grumps will split.
Again.
Game Grumps will completely split up. There will be no more Game Grumps. Aaron is probably going to mainly like go back to working on Starbomb,
And
and
sequelizers, please.
he'll
Please,
he'll
more
probably just like
sequelizers.
mainly go back to working on Starbomb, making animated music videos for Ninja Sex Party, and whatchamacallit. He'll mostly any like LPing from him will just be cameos for Grumpcade and for Oni Plays. Dan, however, I predict will take Ninja Sex Party to the next level and just do touring around America, or he might just flat out like be conscripted for a completely different band. Maybe it'll be the end of Ninja Sex Party since he's already 30 something, but Brian is getting like pretty old
Yeah,
himself,
he's
and he'll
like
probably
40 or something.
his like kid is almost in middle school, so I foresee he'll probably just be stepping back from music, LPing, and all that in general, and he'll probably just do some casual shit, but
Like drugs.
not really at the tier that he can nowadays, and just continue. Um, where I see the rest. Actually, I have a funny prediction for Barry.
Mhm.
He will just straight up go and work at a movie studio, like a big budget fucking Hollywood movie studio, working on the brand new Doctor Strange, or working on the brand new Ant-Man and Captain Atom and all that. Everybody else,
I mean,
everybody else just
that would
dies.
leave
They
just,
will just die.
Ross being there and being like, "Hey, I'm a Game Grump now. I'm Australian, huh? Oi, mate."
Mhm. I am the Game Grump. Nah, Ross will just continue to probably stream. He
Yeah,
won't
he'll be just on Newgrounds forever.
well, no, actually, Ross is working on that cartoon of his,
He's been
something
working on that
planet.
for years.
Yeah, but it'll be done. It'll be done, and then he'll be out with it, and then that's what his thing will be. He will be having his cartoon. Wait, what is this cartoon called anyway?
I don't remember.
Let me check up
Bring
this
John
shit.
back. Hashtag bring John back.
Teddy Twitter's shit on.
How do you Twitter a thing?
He's working on Gameaverse.
Ah, quite.
He's working on Gameaverse, the cute little cartoon filled with all these colorful characters and a cat girl.
Have you
That's a
noticed that he's
mixture of
like
Mega Man.
the only person on Twitter who has an animated avatar?
Is he?
He is.
Oh yeah, he has a GIF as his avatar. Right. How does he do that?
It's been like that for years. I'm confused. It doesn't work in like the preview, but other than that, it's.
If you just like look at it as the little bubble it is,
Yeah.
it fucking actually looks animated. It's moving and all that.
It is moving. It's not just your mind playing tricks on you. It's sorcery.
It's actually real and moving.
Yeah.
He's a good animator too. He's got a lot of good talent.
Yeah, he's a good boy. He's the best boy.
He is a good boy. I like Ross. He is a good boy.
I played a shit ton of WoW.
A WoW?
A WoW. Yeah.
Actual WoW? For reals WoW?
Actual proper WoW. I went
not Warcraft, but World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I inserted my credit card into my disk drive. Blizzard took all the money from it, and some more.
Oh, you didn't actually pay for the subscription, do you?
I did once.
You're not supposed to do that, you dummy. You're supposed to play on illegally cracked servers with an illegally downloaded copy.
I used to,
That's how all of us do.
But sometimes you just, ache for the experience that actually works. Like, you go over there and you click a thing.
I will admit, I do miss sometimes the stability and really nice coding and scripting that Blizzard gave.
Yeah, that's why, like, every once in a while when I'm just, shit out of my mind, bored of everything that ever existed in my life, probably broke up with 5 chicks in like a second, and then I go over, see my Battle.net, and then click the game time button, add a month, and then 1 month later when I exit my coma that has been induced by lots of drugs, I find myself having a max level character with proper raiding gear and no social life.
A month to get to full level with full gear? Pfft, that's a bunch of baloney. I don't believe you.
Oh, you better believe it. I'm gonna send you my armory later, and you're gonna item check me. You're gonna check my specs.
Is it full sanctified? Oh, is sanctified still a thing? Do we still have wrathful gladiator gear and sanctified gear?
No, they've changed everything, and they always change it because they are knobs and they do not know how video games work.
Oh,
and they've decided.
I liked having full sanctified gear back in Lich King. That was the shit.
I mean, sets are still a thing, but nobody really uses them.
But
because, next week's patch comes out and now all of your gear can be replaced by green items and you're like, ooh, I didn't want this epic, like, mythic Warforged gear. No.
I want green.
I want my greens with 0 effects and at least a single point in critical strike.
Only one? You're not one of those 1% crit people, are you?
Oh, you betcha I am.
Oh, no. All right, we're going to have to rectify that. Where's your computer? I have to smash it.
Yeah, it just goes over, just takes it, I am sorry, and then crashes it.
I have to smash it now, I'm sorry. Where is it?
You know what else made me want to smash my computer? The Destiny Open Beta.
Is it good?
It is not, and I'm writing a strongly worded review about it. You can read it later if it comes out.
Bethesda, I keep losing. Your game's clearly broken. Fix it.
Well, remember when Destiny 1 was a thing? Years ago in the distant past, where like the PS2 was a thing.
You mean like open world sci-fi RPG Halo?
Yeah. Where you had like this expansive open world where like multiple quests, that were procedurally generated and there were like events and like this weird merchant guy who was like, what you selling? And then, you do things with friends and you go do the PvP or the PvE and you have fun with it. Remember?
But what I really didn't enjoy about Destiny was like the bosses. The bosses didn't get harder. They just added more and more health to them to the point where, it's because I guess sure they're trying to force and just push the this whole get friends. You gotta get friends. You gotta have a squad and a raid team to be able to do these things. But the only reason you have to is because these bosses just have these insane amounts of health where unless you have several fucking people unloading full clips into it, you're gonna be there for a while. You're gonna be playing that for a good long goddamn while. And there's always the possibility of just getting stupidly bored and it's like I am falling asleep trying to whittle this thing's health away, and that's when it gets you. That's when it gets you.
You just put a paperweight on your mouse button and it starts shooting, and once every while you just press like a button on your keyboard and you move like 1 centimeter to the side where you can't hit him anymore, and you're like, this is great, I'm having so much fun. So yeah, you remember this huge open world sci-fi fantasy shooty gun McMuffin game, right? Well, the Destiny 2 beta has decided you need none of that, and you need the entirety of one PvE sort of dungeon strike thingy, which lasts for literally half an hour, is completely linear with no replayability whatsoever, that ends like immediately, and 2 PvP modes, which
That
you know.
that sounds like the department that was handling all of it just went. So how can we put gameplay into this game? I know, no game, no game at all.
Just remove the game. Only
Just
leave the play in.
Just remove all gameplay in the game at all. See, it works.
Yeah.
We've made the game, you guys. We've listened to your feedback. We've read all of the comments. We've sifted through all of the profanity and the racial comments, and we've decided we understand what you guys want.
Yeah.
No fucking game at all. There you go.
And
There
what
you
we
go,
have
you
now.
fucking assholes. You wanted this. You don't get nothing.
Yeah. Like, the moment you launch this game, it starts off, really gratuitously, like, oh, look at this glorious intro mission we have, which, shows off how many good graphics you can get on your PC that you bought from your grandmother's, savings. Look.
From the money you had selling your
Yeah, and then when this mission ends with, the reveal of the big bad guy who is like Gruel or something, like this really edgy name. He's like, oh, I shall steal your lights and be the most powerful. I kick you off now.
Oh yeah, because the big guy? I am worthy. Look,
Yeah.
I did all the things the big ball wanted. Only I can have big ball.
Yeah, and he just
Nobody else can
puts a
have
spider
big
crab on it and says, oh, no light for you. You're going to have to do without it. And like 15 seconds later, you're using the things you shouldn't be having, which is weird.
You don't get light. Kick, and you fall down the puddle, and all of a sudden, oh, light.
Yeah.
This light power is great. I still don't understand what the fuck the big ball is for. It was introduced in the first one, and all I know is that they just call it the Traveler. It doesn't do anything. It hasn't done anything. It just sits there in the sky, floating, doing abso-fucking-lutely nothing. And everybody,
hail the mighty sphere.
and including all the Guardians, just kind of worship it like it's this big fucking god. But it doesn't do anything. It just sits there and does nothing, but it's just round. It's like, all hail our big round.
Yeah. It's the importantest of things. We must do everything in this game around this big ball. It's probably just a sexual innuendo, like a Bungie's balls.
But look at our big fucking ball, you guys. Our big fucking ball is God, and we worship it.
Yeah.
So if you want, you can get in with our big ball. If you don't, the big ball destroy you. The only thing that could really, for me, the only thing that could redeem whatever they've done with that ball is if whatchamacallit, is if they fucking make it so that the big ball is actually like a death thing. Like it's actually a death weapon that starts destroying shit. And oh no, we've been worshiping the death ball. We were doing it wrong. We were all wrong.
But that's plot twist number 1 in the book of plot twists that writers use when they're confused as to what the point of things are.
It's the perfect plot twist to use because it'll just be so good because everybody's been worshiping this thing as a big good nice ball. And yet imagine instead of it just doing nothing for 2 straight games, all of a sudden, right at the end, after just doing nothing at all, boom,
it does a
big
thing.
ball is actually bad.
Ooh, exciting. My nipples.
But it's like and yeah, sure, like it would kind of be cliche since yeah, you are right. The big ball is bad is like the first fucking thing that they
Yeah, I hesitate
I'm
to
sorry,
say
big ball. I didn't mean to upset.
No, the big ball was actually Jared. Imagine the big ball was
Big
actually
ball shoved a
Jared.
big sandwich in me.
Here's where the guns come from. Jared is in the middle of the big ball when he just regurgitate massive
No,
amounts
Jared
of
is
legendary
on top of the big ball.
and exotic weaponry and people.
He's on the very, very fucking top of the big ball.
Yeah, it's actually his ball.
No, the best plot twist out of all of them. Jared is the ball.
Jared is the ball.
He is the big ball.
Yeah.
No. I don't know what happened to me at work yesterday.
Sure. Did
I
you
have
die?
the
Sexually,
no,
of course.
unfortunately, but I have the beautiful privilege at working at a GameStop. And so this weird kind of hippie looking lady came into our store and was trying to ask us, "Hey, where are the display like the testing things? Where are like the display and testing stations for the switches? You guys don't have any switches." And firstly we attempt to tell her like, "Oh, yeah, we don't have any switches for the moment. We only got about a limited amount of them in stock, and then they sold out."
Thanks, Nintendo.
Uh, you see, here's the thing. It's not us that dictates how many Switches we get. It really is Nintendo, because Nintendo is the one that ships them out and sends them.
Yeah, it
So
produces them. It makes
yeah,
them.
and we only get about as many Nintendo Switches
Any other
as
store.
Nintendo allows us. So anything that we don't get is kind of directly the responsibility and fault of Nintendo for just not getting us the amount that is being so like demanded for. But no, the nice lady comes on in, starts complaining, and starts complaining in a really, really condescending way. Starts complaining about the fact that we just don't have any testing models for the Switch. And I very politely tried to explain to this lady, was like, um, I'm sorry, but the Switch is a very small console, and it's quite easy to steal, so it wouldn't be that easy to like keep it in a safe spot, since what's to stop someone from running into the store and just grabbing it and ditching. And the thing is, we tried to explain to her that this has happened before, when we used to have PS4 Pros in like the little testing sites in the store. They would flat out be stolen. Two of them got stolen that way
Yeah,
because
that's
they
a
were in the
pretty
testing
large
sites, but
thing.
yeah, but they are pretty large, but they were still like, people still attempted to steal them, and people still stole them anyway. Uh, and we attempted to have like testing booths like that, but because ever since about two PS4 Pros got stolen because we had these open testing sites like that, we just said, no, you know what? Fuck it. We can't do it anymore. We seriously can't fucking afford to have our stuff stolen anymore. So we just said, screw it. We're not going to try to have any more testing sites anymore. So, uh, nothing to that. But as I'm trying to tell her, they're pretty stealable. Like, they can be stolen. The lady just looks at me and goes, "No, no."
I take.
It just, no, as if no, they won't be stolen. Like, she is God in the flesh, and she knows without a shadow of a doubt that they won't be stolen. But I'm thinking, what, they will be, though. They're even easier to steal than our regular consoles.
Yeah, they're
And
like a
people have
tablet thing.
and people have tried and have stolen our consoles that are even bigger than the Switch before in the past. But she just goes, "No,
That's like a
no."
Consuela moment. Have you
And then
watched like Family
and
Guy?
then she just and she continues this condescending rant about, "You guys always don't have them in stock, and you don't have these Switches, so we're gonna have to move Nintendo out inland into China if you don't cut it out.
What?
Essentially, she was telling us if we don't stop being out of stock of Switches, and if we don't stop not having testing stations in our stores, that she will legitimately like take Nintendo America and move it out of Nintendo America over to inland China.
How would that
I
help?
had I had no idea. Like, I don't know who this lady is. I have never seen her in like a single like conference or big thing that involved like the big CEOs of Nintendo America. The only big name in Nintendo America that ever shows up is Reggie. And I was about 2 seconds away from flat out looking her in the face and saying, "Oh, hey there, Reggie, corporate president of Nintendo of America. I didn't know you were here.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I didn't recognize you with
With
your
this get
female
up.
appearance and long colored hair." It's, my boss was baffled by it the entire day because it legitimately took him by surprise. He couldn't stop fucking talking about how this lady just came in to threaten us of if we don't stop not being always in stock with Nintendo Switches, they were gonna take Nintendo of America out and move it to fucking mainland China.
Do you have like
Shit.
Nintendo stickers? Like just
Stickers?
promotional materials of them?
We have in the store currently. We have classic Nintendo, which not Nintendo, but classic Super Mario posters.
So
Um,
yeah,
we
okay,
have the we got the one where it's Mario jumping, Fire Mario jumping above a little fire pit in a Bowser level.
yeah. So you
You
take
know, like
that.
the one that was like the original one. It was like the original picture on the cartridge for the Nintendo, whatchamacallit, for the Nintendo thing. But it was
Yeah.
the original cover art on the cartridge for the mother effing Super Mario game when it came out on the Nintendo Entertainment System. That is what the F I was trying to say.
Yes.
God
So
damn it.
let me give you this hypothetical situation where this lady comes back and again threatens to move the entirety of Nintendo America into inland China. So you go to the nearest electronics store that you can find. You buy like an internet switch. You know what that is? Like with the LAN ports and whatever. You just buy
Oh,
that.
so an actual like router switcher.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you take one of those posters, wrap it around it, and scotch tape it, like on all sides, and then you give it to her for the same price you would sell a Nintendo Switch. You easily make a $75, profit on that.
Just flat just flat out give her a Switch router and just say, "Yeah, it's a Switch. I give it to you for $300."
Yep. And she will be amazed and will no longer threaten you to, get rid of the
I know
entirety of
these
corporate
things are
Nintendo.
actually sold for like $300 now, or unless it's the bundles.
Well,
The bundles don't come for
it's a new
the bundles
thing.
are like a little cheaper, I guess, but you have more shit in it in the end.
Yeah. I mean, people are still buying iPhones, so who's there to judge?
Of course, people will always buy iPhones. That's just a cheap thing that got established years ago.
Yeah, just let's pay more money to have less things, less accessibility, and, genuinely be, a
Remember when
worse
it was the
consumer.
exact other way around when you paid less but you got more
Yeah,
out of a fucking Apple
thing.
product?
Yeah, just. And the funny thing is, because of course I work with computer people, which have opinions about every single piece of hardware they ever touch. And everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna buy one of those MacBook Airs because it is the ultimate workstation. And I'm
It
like,
is airy, really, really fucking light and cool.
and at that point I'm like, boy, I can make you a fucking computer with two Titan, X's and like 4K 144 hertz monitors, and you're telling me you're gonna spend that on a fucking little Apple laptop that works with their software, and if it breaks, you gotta take them to their special service, and then you have to wait a 15-year period of time before your next child is born so you can sell it to get it back.
Oh no! At this point, if it breaks, that's it. At this point, whenever you have an Apple product, if it doesn't have like directly the screen cracked or something like super small that can be like taken care of in a mall kiosk, they just say, "Yeah, buy another one."
Yeah, you've got
Flat out buy
$1,000
another
bucks.
one.
You know, you've
You're
got them.
Bill Gates, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah,
You
sure.
can buy all of it.
I also
Well,
want to feed my children with crushed
I do
iPhones.
also want to starve and not eat anything ever again anymore. But this will be all the time for me, and I thank you too. Unless you want to keep monkeying it for our buds. Thank you for watching Behind the Fence, the greatest podcast ever done behind the fence. Tune in next week when the McConnor McGregor fight actually gets whatevered, rematched, and then we can truly see who is the better.
Yeah.
Because
Or
I
you
think
could.
Connor's better.
Or you
Anyways,
could stay tuned and watch The Host, which is going to be apparently Stims playing Fallout 2. And you will...
stay tuned for Fallout 2 Stims.
Yeah.
Coming
with
up next on
weird
your local
bearded
program.
man with
Beard.
beard.
Just Beard. Stay tuned for Beard. This has been all from us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Send in your death threats at 123 help, and we'll be seeing you next week. Seacrest out.